Hi guys, it's Regina. Yes, I know, you are thinking, Regina, where were you on Tuesday and why are you uploading on a Thursday? Well, you guessed it, I changed my upload days from Tuesdays to Thursdays. I figured since I added the additional video series on Sundays, it would give me more time between videos and better manage to make sure I stay consistent and come to you every week. So bam, here I am on a Thursday. All right, and if you haven't checked out that video series on Sunday, please do check it out here. All right, guys, well, I wanted to talk to you about in this video, inner work, self-work, work you can do on yourself to be the best you and to continue to grow and have the abundant life that you want. So stay tuned. Hey, okay, so it's Regina and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new here, please peruse around my channel and check out some other videos. And I appreciate you for stopping by and thank you for joining us this week. So here on my channel, I offer all things to build your inner strength, and I throw in some words of affirmation and inspiration to spice it up a bit. So if that sounds good to you, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I upload a new video every Thursday and Sunday. All right, so the title of this video is Inner Work is the Key to a Growth Mindset. And I truly believe that. But speaking of inner work, our country needs to do some these days, wouldn't you say? I would just say briefly that I am just as, angry, frustrated, and disgusted with the events over the past few weeks and for a while now that this has been happening. But I am encouraged by the strides we are making to stand up for a change, and not only in our country, but around the globe as well. People are coming together to really stand up for what they believe in and what they know is right. What I do believe is that we all need to do our part to contribute to the solution. And a baby step in doing my part is to educate and remind us of our Black history, because it says that our Black lives do matter, even though our country doesn't demonstrate that often. So I would love for you guys to go check out my video from last Sunday, where I share inspirational quotes from our African American leaders in my Black history. All right, so I hope you guys are staying safe and well and continue to stand up for the change, because it's long overdue and there's a lot of work and it's a long time coming. So we will get through it together. All right, so let's jump into what I want to talk to you about this week. All right, guys, so while there are several ways that you could do inner work, in this video, I want to focus on 3 ways that can bring about the most change and long-lasting change. So those 3 things are self-love, tapping into your inner child, and doing some shadow work. So let's get started with self-love. So self-love is exactly that, what it sounds like. And this is going to sound so cliche, but I know you've heard the phrase, change starts with you. So you really need to dig deep into yourself to start the work. And that's the only way that you can appreciate the work that needs to be done, and to really start understanding you, being okay with you, and just, being you. So the way we can do that is through some mirror work. So what mirror work is simply looking at yourself in the mirror each and every day and talking to yourself, saying compassionate, gentle things, to start the process of being comfortable with yourself and being kind to yourself. I believe this is one of the best ways to reconnect with your soul, because you're looking back at yourself and, even beyond just your physical features, you really get to see, I think, into your soul when you're saying these things. And I don't think that often we do that. We're so affected by our external noise that we tend to focus in on that. So turning to yourself each and every day, probably in the morning, I know that's when I do it, and just talk to yourself, say positive affirmations, just be kind in this moment in time with yourself in the mirror. And I believe truly that is where it can start, and you will see, major differences when you start there. So I truly believe another way or another form of self-love is to invest in yourself. So if you take the time or the money to invest in self-improvement, self-work, that will feel so good. I know oftentimes we spend our time or our money on others and really focusing our attention on others' improvement and getting them to where they need to be in the next step in their lives, whether it be our children or our spouses or our friends, our family, just everybody outside of ourselves. And I know recently I invested in myself with the Lisa Nichols course that starts this month, and I am so excited about it. It felt so good to finally do something like that for myself and to really start the inner work and better understand the different steps I need to take to become a better me. You know, I believe you are constantly learning and growing throughout your life. I don't think that ever stops until the day we die, but until then, all we can do is try to be the best versions of ourselves. And I think with self-love, investing in yourself is one of the, biggest ways you could do that. All right, guys, so I've been running my mouth for a little bit now, so I just want to check in with you and ask you to get in those comments and let me know if you have done self-work in the past, and if so, what type. And also, if you're doing self-work now, let me know about what you got going on right now in your life and how you're making strides to improve yourself. I'd love to hear from you, so go ahead and comment down below. All right, guys, so the second way to do some inner work is through tapping into your inner child. Now, this gets a little bit deeper because it involves, reaching back into your childhood and identifying any pains, fears, or limiting beliefs that started when you were a child so that you can work through them as an adult. Now, don't get me wrong, your childhood brings up some, joy, creativity, spontaneity, and that's all well and good, but it's important to look at the not so good pieces so that you can move forward in a healthy way with your self-work. And I know a good example of this is when I had my pretty much nervous breakdown back in 2018, and I started therapy, one-on-one therapy and group therapy. I'm with a group of women and men. And it really, once you start talking about things, and once the therapist starts like digging into, your relationships, whether it be with your family or friends or something that anything back before, you became an adult, and as you came up in the world, it really starts to uncover some things for you and starts dredging up some, not so good feelings, but it's important to do that work in order to tap into your inner child and then be able to move forward so that okay, that's why I feel this way, or that's why I react, or that's why I keep getting in certain situations. So it's really important to do that work. And while there are good things in our past and as a child, there are some other things that aren't so good. So we really want to do that work to stay on the path of our inner work. Okay, so last but not least, but definitely the deepest type of inner work is shadow work. Now, this work is not for beginners, and I strongly urge you to do the necessary self-love work in step 2, tapping into your inner child work, before you even start this work. This work focuses on your inner demons, the things lurking inside your mind, body, and soul that are taboo, forbidden, ugly, just plain unacceptable to society and to your parents even. So these are things that you are ashamed of or just disgusted with yourself about. So that's why you need to be strong and firm in your self-worth and have a high level of value of self before you even go down this path, because once you do go down this path, it's considered advanced. The reason being is because if what you do uncover these things and even speak them out loud, it'll make you feel 10 times worse about yourself initially, when you're getting them out. So if you don't have a high level of self-esteem or self-worth, that could crush you or damage you pretty badly. So you just really want to, before you even engage in this type of work, you really want to be firm and stable in yourself and have done all the work prior to this type of work. So this is pretty intense type of work, and it can uncover some things that you didn't even think you could talk about, but you end up doing so. And I believe it is a necessary step in building your self-strength and getting down to the problem and the nitty-gritty of what's going on with you to, again, continue a path forward to be the best version of yourself. All right, friends, so that brings us to the end of the video this week, and I am so glad you joined me, and I hope that this information was helpful and there were some insightful gems that you could put to use for yourself. And don't forget to check me out on Instagram, where I post a few microblogs per week on inspiration and motivation and just on topics about your inner strength and just really tapping into yourself to be the best version of yourself. So don't forget to check out these two playlists before you hop off of my channel. And as always, like this video if you like it, and subscribe and hit that bell to be notified when I upload a new video every Thursday and Sunday now. All right then, bye-bye guys.